Let's talk about hair. It's not your average conversation. Welcome to Main Talk Conversations About Hair, another episode of Main Talk Conversations About Hair. I'm your host, Deshawn Bullard. I'm a board certified licensed cosmetologist. If this is your first time watching, certified trichologist, hair loss specialist. Some call me the hair coach. They call me the hair messiah. They call me Dr. Deshawn, all of that. And we are glad to have you here listening to our podcast today. I'm here alongside with my co-host, my longtime confidant, at least hair confidant, and other things that I met 10 years ago when she was working for a large radio station here in the Atlanta area. And ever since then, ever since I advertised, Ashley, you believed in me. You gave me my own radio show. You pushed for me to have my own radio show. This was like 10 years ago, guys. So I'm excited to have her here alongside me on this episode or this season to talk all things about the salon industry. Welcome, Ashley.
Hey, y'all. Yeah, and like Deshawn said, if you want to get to know us a little better and all that good stuff, go back, first listen to this episode, but go back and listen to the previous episodes. Like Deshawn said, yes, we met 10 years ago, actually during a slump point in my life, but the good that came out of it was Deshawn, even though I said I don't want no more Scorpios in my life. Somehow I just keep collective. I can't get rid of them. But yes, my name is Ashley Shante, producer, writer, director, and to this podcast, producer and co-host. So I'm glad that y'all are here. We've been talking a whole lot of stuff. And really this season, we've really been trying to get down to really the psychology and the root of like the trauma that we're experiencing right now with the salon experience. Is like we're at least, well, Deshawn's on the professional side, but I know I'm not alone when I feel just such a just it's just so much negativity out there when you go to get your hair done. It's not really a pleasant experience for a lot of people. And we're talking about why and what and all of that. And our last some of our previous episodes, we talked about the root of kind of why us as clients like get in these bad situations. Why do we keep choosing these terrible hairstylists that don't respect us and all of that? In this episode, I want to talk about the stylists and their attitudes and the why on that. So great stylists, but bad attitudes, right? And this actually was inspired by a real life situation that I had. So my oldest son, I was taking him to get his very first haircut, right? And so this was a very like for anybody that has kids, that first haircut, it could be emotional, it could be kind of scary. You don't know how it's gonna be. I had met the barber previously. It was a female barber, and she seemed like she would be good. She was nice and kind to our son. I liked her energy, blah blah blah. There's probably a red flag or two that I ignored there, but overall, she was kind. She did have a good attitude. Anywho, this particular day, I was jam-packed. I was actually just coming from out of town. So I was rushing back into town to get to my husband where we were, going together to this appointment, both as parents to his appointment. And so on the way to the appointment, my husband puts the address in the GPS or whatever to get there. I realized halfway there that we're going to be about 8 minutes late. 8 or 9 minutes late is what the GPS is saying. So I start freaking out because I actually don't like being late. I know there's a lot of conversation out there about like stylists complaining that, the clients don't respect the stylists and they're late. I don't like to be late, but as you know, life happens. We're not perfect. And those of us with kids and all that, it can be tough. So anyway, I realized I'm going to be 9 minutes late. I'm like freaking out, and my husband's like, just calm down. But the reason why I'm freaking out even more is because I realized I left my phone. So I actually don't have the lady's contact information. Now I know, Deshawn, you're gonna be giving the side eye because if it was a NeuroTrust that I was coming to, guess what? It wouldn't matter that I left my phone because from his phone, I could just your number's on Google. I could just call. But through this lady, they don't answer their phone. It's not like a phone thing. It's a brick and mortar, barber shop, but they don't answer their phones. And you even book really through Facebook is like how her booking situation goes. So I can't call because I can't reach out to her, message her on Facebook because I don't have my phone. So I'm like, whatever, we'll just get there. We literally get there at, excuse me, at 8 after the hour. We're rushing it because it's our whole family. It's me and my husband and my little baby as well. We got the stroller. My husband's like, go head on in. I'll be there in a second. I push in. I'm pushing the baby in, and then I got my 3-year-old next to me. She has somebody already in the chair. So at first I was relieved because I was like, I thought I was 8 minutes late. I was like, oh, she's wrapping up, and so I got time. But as I get closer and walk towards her, I realize she's not really making eye contact with me. And I could tell by her body language, something is off. And so she says, hey, mom. That's how she, is referring to me as mom because I'm his mom. She's like, I'm gonna have to reschedule you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reschedule you. But it was even the energy, Deshaun, was completely different than the woman that I met previously. It actually, if I'm embarrassed enough to say, it actually hurt my feelings because she was so kind the time before, but this time it was like she had a personality disorder. She was like, I'm gonna have to reschedule you. So now I'm embarrassed in front of all these people because it's an open salon or whatever, open shop. My 3-year-old, who is being a 3-year-old, is kind of wobbly and just being a 3-year-old. And I said, so I walked closer to her. I said, so you mean to tell me, being that this was his first appointment, you would have already been finished with him in 9 minutes? Or I said 15 minutes because she was like, yeah, I only do 15-minute appointments. And so I said, you would have been finished with him at his first appointment, his first time getting his hair done? She looked at him. She's like, the way he acting, I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, you'll have to reschedule. I just turned around. I made a U-turn and I was steaming. When I'm really mad, like steaming, I say nothing because I was seething. It would have been bad had I said anything. So I just walked out and I called you, as you remember. And, you were kind of like, well, something that I said, and I remember I said, well, Deshaun, to be honest, most stylists these days have bad attitudes, and you were really like taken aback by that. You were like,
I am.
I really, resent that statement.
Well, I think because we talk so much, and I don't know, please drop us some comments below. I'm trying to get to the root of it because my conversation with you is that you constantly keep running into the same type of stylist.
Often,
and so for me, I just find it hard to believe because I've been in the industry for over 25 years and have trained a lot of stylists and majority of them just don't have, that has not just been my experience, right? I know that there are a lot of people out there with bad attitudes. I just haven't experienced a lot of them. Maybe because again, like I said, what are you attracting? And because maybe I'm not attracting that. Maybe those who are attracted to me, who read about me, who know me, I don't get that opportunity to experience those people. But the only thing like I could say to you is that, we need to, I kind of feel like a restaurant, it's like, it just doesn't apply. It just doesn't apply to the hairstyling industry. It's like going to a restaurant and you get there and they treat you some kind of way. This is really bad. Again, finding out who you are. I know you said that when you spoke to her before it was different, but did she?
I visited. I literally went to the salon.
I visited. Did you find out? So now that you have had these experiences over and over and over again about people paying deposits, showing up late, did you find out from her in particular, like if she has any type of, if you're late? I mean, it's just,
she didn't have any of this. And this is what I really want y'all to comment like I do, because Deshaun, you are on a different side of the coin. One, when you get your hair done, let's think about it. Right now, when you get your hair done, it's probably one of your workers that does your hair.
And that's true. And for the past 25
for people
years,
that work for
but
you.
You know what?
So you're coming from a completely different.
But you know what? I think you're correct. But when I got my hair cut a few years ago, I didn't get my hair done in my salon because if I'm in my salon, I feel like I'm always working. So I'll say the name Nyjah from Nyjah Like the River. She my homegirl from Chicago. I went to her salon to get my hair done. Right?
There's a relationship there. Your homegirl from Chicago.
Well, but no, I just realized she's my homegirl from that, is what I'm saying. But basically from looking online, like everybody else, seeing the transformations with the cut, I said I wanted to go somewhere else other than my salon to get my hair done. Now I had my own set of experience there, but when I walked out, I was happy and would be ready to go back again. If it was different, then I would not have gone back, right? Actually, I was happy to go there to even build a relationship with her to say, hey, we can swap off. She has clients that have hair loss to come down to our clinic and vice versa or whatever. But I think we just need to take the time, just as we do with the doctor. I think, Ashley, I think that we underestimate our service providers, that if it was a doctor for your son, you're going to be a little bit more particular. You're like, I just can't go to any old quack, right? To service my son. I can't take him to any old dentist.
No, Deshaun, I have on this one, I have to lay it down. There is an epidemic going on right now. You can look on any social media platform. You can get it. It is bad all the way around. Now, I'm not going to say, I'm not going to say that every situation that I've had has been bad. One, now since I've gotten locks, the type of people that I choose to do my hair, I'm a little bit more selective. But as far as back to my son going to get his hair cut, that was really like the bane of my existence for a few weeks, because I was like, really? Okay, who's nice with kids? Because you got to have a balance, right? They need to know how to cut hair really well, but then they also need to know how to have patience with the kids. So I chose not to, because initially I was like, maybe I need to take him to, those little friendly haircut, the places that like specialize in kids' haircuts. They got them in the little seats, and it's like decorate. But to be honest, it's most white women in there cutting hair. And I was like, no, that's not going to cut it. But Ashley, so then with me, I looked online. I actually went to a parental group on Facebook. I went to a mom's group on Facebook, and I said, can you guys give me suggestions on, who cuts hair? There was a lot of suggestions in there. I weeded out the ones that, whatever. And then somebody said, go to this. I'm not going to call them out, but go to this particular salon. And they added them. Red flag for me, and I should have paid attention. Anybody that includes Jesus in their title, anointed, blessings, anything. I hate to say it, I'm a lover of Christ, but that's a red flag. That's already a red flag. But I don't think that, I don't think, and she had none of that. Her spirit was bad. That's why she had to say she was anointed.
That's fair. I don't think that's fair. And so I'm going to go back to, you are correct that it is bad out in these streets. And remember, I'm teaching those who are bad to be good, right? So that's, as a matter of fact, the Bronner Brothers show is coming up, this year, and I'm teaching a class again. However, I'll go back to you. If this was one incident, Ashley, if it was 2 incidents, if it was 3 incidents, if it was 4 incidents, if it was 5 incidents, hell, if it was 10 incidents, then again, I say 10 is, and that is the reason why, continuing our conversation from last episode, why I have to ask anyone who keeps running into the same problem is it your selective choice? I'm not saying
so Deshaun, let me give you the other side of it. I have to have my foot really down on this one. It is an epidemic in professionalism overall, and attitude.
Listen, but so what's the?
So let me tell you. So I never went to her. No. I have had good experience. Let me paint a picture for you. So clearly, that lady was out and done, canceled, right? What's bad about these stylists today, and that's where I want to get down to the root. This may even honestly need a part 2, because there is a psychology behind. We talked about the root of why we accept bad behavior with our stylists, because at the root of it, we feel like our hair needs to be beaten into submission from a little age of how our mothers did our hair, and how they with relaxers and told us basically our hair was ugly. And so many, not directly, but indirectly, society has told us that. There is a reason why salon workers and stylists feel like they are above, and they almost have the attitude. You have equated these relationships to abusive relationships. They act like the man that's the hottest man on campus, the one that everybody wants. They got all the women, and they just treat them any kind of way. Guess what? Because you'll be back. That's the same type of thing, but there has to be something at the root of why they are acting this way. Now, on the other flip side of the coin, when we got rid of that, I didn't go back to her, needless to say. I wrote a review, and I actually, when I write reviews, I don't write the review to like get back at the stylist or get back at the owner. I write reviews so the other people will see.
Right.
see what's going on. So I wrote a review, and I even prefaced it telling her in the beginning, don't even bother responding. I'm only telling moms that have small children. I'm not saying that this lady probably can't cut hair, but she's probably not a good option because she only does 15-minute appointments. And when you're a mom, you may be 2 minutes late or whatever, and she's
But
going
did
to
you know that
reschedule
before?
you.
Did you know that before that she only
I
does
did not.
15
She
minutes
did
appointments?
not have any rules. She didn't give me any of that. She just said, oh,
Right.
okay, I'll take them at 12 o'clock or whatever time it was appointment. Now, mind you, there are people that we talked about this in previous episodes that give you a long laundry list of rules. At least I would have respected that because my expectation was there. Because once I saw that I was going to be 8 minutes late, I would have just
Yeah, she was.
told my husband to turn
You
the
know,
car around. She was
I'll go
out of
on record
line,
to say she was wrong.
ridiculous.
She was wrong.
And
I
let me tell
don't.
you how wrong she was. Let me tell you how wrong she was. I wrote the review. Instead of her, and this is my problem with us specifically, we will go all over the world to disprove a claim that somebody made instead of calling them or emailing them directly and trying to make it right. All the
Right.
effort, you know what this chick did? Because I said, if you're a mom, I don't advise you to take your kid to this appointment, not because she can't cut hair, but because of her patience level. What she did is she posted a whole bunch of pictures of her doing little kids' hair,
Again, because she
basically
was
to kind
guilty.
of just, she was guilty. But
Yeah, she's guilty.
instead of saying something directly to me, that's what she did. Now, my husband and I have found somebody new to do my
Okay.
son's hair. It was a completely different experience. He gave him a certificate. He makes him feel good. He's the sweetest guy in the world. Now, the only thing is his kids be in there sometimes when they out of school, they be running around and I be like, oh my God,
Oh
these
my
kids.
God. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
what I'm trying to say is that there's an epidemic in our industry, just period, right?
It is.
Because on one side of the coin, you're gonna have somebody that can cut hair really well or can do hair really well, but they got a stank attitude. But then the other side, let's be real honest, and y'all in the comments, to tell Deshaun what y'all experiences are. But sometimes the professionalism is there, but the styling ain't really there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You kind of
I mean, you're telling the truth. I mean,
sacrifice one thing for the other.
I think that's the reason why we're having this podcast, because we do need to let the stylists who are licensed and professional, not talking about the kitchen titians, those who are licensed professionals who are styling in what we call a retail environment, right? Brick and mortar in a retail environment, they need to know how the customers feel. So I am 100%. I totally agree with you that she was wrong. And just like any other life experience, it's unfortunate. Again, you looked and you found someone else and you wrote the review. But on the other hand, again, I had a situation where a customer came to my salon and her hair was like down mid her back. She had been coming for, maybe about 3 or 4 times. We do have a long hair fee. The stylist never charged her the long hair fee. So previously she went on our Google account and gave us 5 stars. It was like, oh my God, I love this place, because we kind of like a 5-star salon. We have about 5 stars for our salon. We push for that, right? And so the last time she came to visit the salon, she was charged a $25 long hair fee. She left the salon. She went on Google and said, I originally gave this salon 5 stars, but now I'm giving it 1 star. And the reason why I'm giving it 1 star is because when I got there, they charged me a $25 long hair fee. So beware. When I went back to look at what happened, now this is to your counter claim of what she did. And so what I did was address the situation online on Google, contacted her, refunded her $25 back, told her that we apologize. She should have been charged, but since she had not been charged previously, we're going to let it go. I'm refunding your $25. We apologize. Thank you for allowing us to service you. She went in, edited her review and said, edit. I received my $25 back, and I spoke with the manager and she left it 1 star. Right. So
instead of updating the stars.
So what I'm saying is that it's on both sides of the fence, which is why I'm glad we're having this conversation, which is why I'm glad that Main Talk is back strong so that we can resolve, right? Because on your side, you were correct. She was wrong, right? The stylist was wrong by coming in and not responding to you, but throwing up pictures to be like, oh, I do. On my end, I responded, and I think the customer was wrong. She gave us 5 stars at first. She had a bad experience. We refunded her, but she left it 1 star because
people put more effort into when they're disgruntled and angry than
yeah, but
it's
you know, it's again the crabs in the barrel mentality. As we talked about getting to the root, we have to get back to the root of who we are as a people and why we can't just support and push each other, why we can't resolve. So at the end of the day, this podcast is all about making sure that we have resolution in the beauty industry, that I know how to deal with my stylist that may have a bad attitude. I need to know how to pivot. You know, if it's somebody I really like, I need to know how to engage and communicate with them. We don't want to get into any fights or anything like that. But let's face it, the reason why all this is happening, Ashley, and I guess we can get into this in a whole nother episode, is we watching so much reality TV that has taught us how to communicate with each other. We didn't used to communicate with each other like this back in the day, but when we watch all these reality shows and the way that we resolve is by throwing a glass bottle or throwing our fist or cutting somebody down to the white meat. You know what I'm saying? That is how we now have learned how to communicate. And I feel like that is another big problem that we're having, because if we look at what's going on TV, reality TV is really popular. There are a lot of shows out there, all the way back to some of our main shows, back all the Real Housewives series, right? And now we have these other series where Black women deal with each other by fighting, throwing, cursing, and cutting them down to the white meat. But again, remember, that's entertainment. And what we're talking about is real life.
And we're talking about service. We're talking about a service industry. And a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of stylists, I think, like the art of doing hair, but they don't like people. They don't like people. So really, they should be styling mannequins.
Right. I mean,
really,
to be honest, that's true. Some of them just like the money, right? Some of them come in and it's like a drug. I'm going to get my fix for the day. I'm going to come in and make my money, but they really don't have the aura or presence to service customers. But again, I put that back on you.
Or a God complex. A lot of them have a God complex.
Yeah, they do.
If you really want to get that, like they got the power to make you look good or whatever. They got the power to cancel schedule. Yeah.
But guess what? They don't have a God complex just in the hair industry. They got a God complex in life, right? That's just who they are. So again, it's up to us as we even choose the right mate or choose the right friends. We need to make sure we are equipped with everything we need to find the right stylist. At the end of the day, it's up to you. You can either keep her in business or put her out. Literally, you can. And in today's world, it's easy to put somebody out of business. You just said it. Go to the reviews, hit those reviews. Google, you can't even delete them. Now, you can probably delete reviews on like TikTok or Instagram, but you can't delete reviews.
Which is a whole another problem. A lot of these stylists don't even have like a Google page and stuff. And that is actually my new like bar. Like if they don't have like a Google review where I could give like a public review, no, ma'am.
And I think that's excellent, because the reason why we get clients, I think we were servicing literally like 1,200 clients in a month, 900 to 1,200 clients a month. Just recently, and it was overwhelming for us because it was like, whoa, we're getting a lot of clients. But the reason why we were getting so many clients was because of our reviews. And we push clients to give us a review, whether bad or good. Again, our whole goal is to resolve. No one is perfect, not even us. But again, we strive to be perfect. But that's not just the salon business, that's any business, whether it's a restaurant, they strive to give good service, whether it's your doctor, your dentist, right? Whether it's your therapist. All of us who are providing a service are striving to be better. Sometimes we will miss the mark, but again, it's all about resolving and making the customer feel good. And that's what we need to do. Good stylist, bad attitude, but you can change that attitude if you pull those dollars away from his or her pocket. Straight up.
Yesterday, man, I still think we're gonna need a part 2 to this because I still don't understand why these people so angry.
Do we need a part 2? Do we need a part 2?
Let us know, because I want to get down. Why they so mad? And a lot of these stylists are making so much money, but they're angry.
Yeah.
So in this segment of our show, guys, we go from the hairnet to the internet. This one is right on brand with what we're talking about. Let's take a look at this clip.
Man.
This happened while on live.
Definitely sounds fun. I'm about to, yes.
I know, I'm like, my appointment was at 11.
Okay, you gonna have to wait. It's 15 past your appointment.
Okay, but I contacted you. It's not my fault you ignored me.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm somebody in the chair right now.
Okay, she's gonna either have to get up or you gonna have to do my hair. Like, are you gonna refund me my deposit?
No,
baby,
I'm not getting up, baby, because I didn't draw too far.
Nobody's talking to you.
I don't give a damn.
Nobody's talking to you. Nobody's talking to you. Anyway, so do you plan on paying me my deposit back? Like, what's gonna happen from here?
No, better than look how she talking.
Like for part 2.
Listen.
All right, so that's actually a skit, and this is a good page, but it's a skit, and I wanted to include it because these are real life situations that happen, and it happened to me.
Well, you know what, I will end with saying this is that it is bad out in these streets, and that we have turned our salons into a real reality show. And so, and I think that we feel like that the cameras are rolling all the time, and sometimes I feel like that the stylists are acting out to get video footage and the clients are acting out to get video footage. And, but we need to get back to business, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to move from the person who pays is the boss. And that's how I look at it. So if you're paying me, I want to do what you do. And how do we translate that through others? Hoping that those watching this show, some who are stylists, can listen and understand, and let's make some real changes. I mean, that's all I can say. I just feel like we just living out a reality show now. If I had the opportunity, literally, I would go in and shut some of these salons down, because the truth of the matter is some of them need to be shut down. Some of them shouldn't be in business, and you shouldn't be calling them and going over and visiting them. And if they're shut down, so maybe that's the next episode, me getting off the bus, just shutting it down, just putting some crime tape across the front door. Exactly. And shut it down, because that's where it's going to get to. So make sure, guys, drop us a line, join in the conversation. What are some of your experiences? Let us know. We may have you on the show, right, Ashley? Let's talk about it.
Indeed. Let's keep talking about this.
Exactly. So I want to thank y'all so much for joining us on this episode of Main Talk. A special shout out to you, Ashley, my producer and co-host. Thank you for joining the conversation and sharing all of your hair horror stories. Oh, Lord have mercy. It's going to get better. It's going to get
where that came from. I got more.
Listen. So guys, make sure you follow us on our next episode. Make sure you go back to some of the previous episodes. Share, like, get others to join into the conversation. Please share. Right. So we can make the world of hair a better place. So remember, y'all, it don't matter how you choose to wear your hair. Just make sure you can hold your head up high enough to wear your own crown. We'll see you guys on our next episode, where this conversation, this saga continues.
Indeed. Peace out.
Bye-bye. Peace out.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Main Talk. Let's talk about hair. It's not your average conversation.